Hold on. This is the gaslighting. Okay.
I was so pissed. I was like, I saw this.
Everybody gets their due process.
Yeah.
Due process does not mean criminal trial. Due process, legally defined, is the fair treatment under the law. Illegal immigrants get fair treatment under the law.
Yep.
An ICE agent will stop them and say, I have reason to believe you're not a citizen. Can you show me some ID? If they can't, they say, okay, come with me. We're going to come and check out who you are. Turns out he's not a citizen. Expedited removal. You don't even go to a judge.
Well, here's the thing. If you got ordered expedited removal, I don't even got to do all that. I just take them. Like, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like yeah. But the ICRO guys that were there, like, look, I get it. They were trying to be polite and professional, but honestly, they didn't even have to let him go to court. If it was me, if I was there and I was leading that team, I would be like, I'm just taking him. Like, this judge is being a pain. She's trying to distract us. I'm just taking him. You guys can't do anything about it.
This is the important thing here. The media, I believe, has successfully gaslit the Trump supporter base and conservatives into believing that due process means jury trial.
Oh yeah, due process might be no jury. It's just whatever the righteous legal path forward is the due process.
Exactly.
Trial or no trial.
So now I'm hearing from all these conservatives saying he shouldn't get due process. No. No, they should all get due process. What is fair to someone who illegally entered the country for us to quickly send them back?
Honestly, his due process is you're under arrest for being here illegally. That's his due process because he's already been removed. And like, again, this is why, and I don't blame people for not understanding this stuff because immigration law is very nuanced and complicated. So unless you worked in it, you're not going to know this stuff. But the reality is, like, for all these liberal talking heads, like, they don't know what they're talking about. And I could debate any of them on this. Like, the guy shouldn't even have been in the courtroom in the first place and gotten this due process that they're crying about. Shouldn't have been here, was ordered removed, got an expedited removal, cooked.
I'd argue if a dude attacked a police officer and with a gun and was threatening and going to shoot and kill the police officer, and the police officer shoots and kills the guy got his due process. That's exactly what was supposed to happen illegally to the guy if he was threatening the life of a police officer.
It's not quite.
That's a form of due process.
Well, you know, I'm gonna half agree with Ian. I understand the point he's trying to make.
Yeah.
That are you treated fairly under the law? And if you're a dude who's threatening to murder a cop and the cop, seeing a threat to his life, defends himself, you were treated fairly under the law. It's a tragedy, but you created that circumstance.
Yeah. You know, and I also want to say here too, it's very important and again, I'm speaking about this in immigration. This is why, like, when it comes to like the anti-Semitism stuff, that's a bit different because these people were legally here and they're kind of using some nuanced laws to try to justify removing them. But with these other individuals, like this guy Ruiz or whatever, like, he was literally removed and an immigration judge already deemed them as like, you have a what's called a final order of deportation, which means you don't even get to get like, you're cooked. Like, you get deported anytime an immigration enforcement officer encounters you. So that's kind of what it comes down to. But the problem is that since so few law enforcement actually have Title VIII authority or even understand it, they can't enforce it properly. Or they try to stay away from it, which is why so many people go to places like Denver or these blue states, because they won't even bother asking. And even if they know that they're illegal, they won't even try to call ICE or they won't hold detainers or any of this stuff, which is a big reason why we're in this problem in the first place, where these law enforcement agencies are scared to even touch Title VIII.
We're coming up on the age of people thinking that it's okay. Because I think law doesn't mean good. You might have evil laws. The people that hid the Jews from the Nazis, for instance, might have been doing a righteous move, even though it was illegal. So you're going to see this conversation about, is it righteous to break these laws, to harbor illegal aliens? That's going to be the big conversation in the next 4 years.
It's already the conversation that's being had. There are people that are. There was I don't know if there was a senator or a congressman that was saying that it's the moral thing to do. The judge that was hiding the illegal immigrant, that he was doing something illegal, but it was the moral thing to do. They're already making those arguments.
Well, that is deeply runs through me as well, because I don't always adhere to the law. If it's an evil law, you have a moral, righteous duty to defy the law.
No, it's not a moral thing to hide someone that has come here illegally. That's immoral. Because
think about this though. What if the laws get changed and now it's illegal for some other thing that's like that really shouldn't be illegal?
You could come up with all kinds of hypotheticals, but the fact of the matter is, the people that have come here illegally, the intent is to dilute the voting power of the existing American citizens. It is not moral to allow them to stay and harm the American people by making their vote have less power.
And there's also a very illicit industry that literally runs off of this. It's called at USC 3024. It covers human smuggling and also harboring. Like, there's stash house operators all over the country that literally hold groups of illegal aliens there, and get paid a lot of money to hold them there. It's almost like it's actually more lucrative than drugs in a lot of ways.
Yeah, because you can, like, when it comes to a child that's being sex trafficked, that child can be raped 10 times a day, as opposed to you sell whatever some coke and they'll take.
Yeah, human smuggling is a very lucrative business. And the thing also that I need people to understand when it comes to like illegal aliens, a lot of people say, well, they're just trying to come here and find a better life. What people don't understand is, okay, let's assume they're coming in here and they're trying to live a better life. They're still funding and helping operate an illicit multi-billion-dollar business that facilitates the illegal movement of people into the United States.
Yeah.
That also goes into other crimes as well.
People
You can't come to the United States without funding a human smuggling organization to some degree.
People need to watch The Sound of Freedom again, like rewatch that.
Oh, that intro is
I watched it a couple weeks ago, and it is horrible. And there is far too much bad that comes with illegal immigration than to ever think that allowing them to stay is moral.
Well, I'm thinking about this girl
if you send them out.
got deported.
That scene where Wiesel says he quotes the Bible as he's catching the predator.
Yeah.
Like, that movie was fantastic.
Well, yeah, the guy that Tim Ballard used to be an HSI agent.
Yeah, of course.
He left a long time ago. It changed a lot since he's been on the job. But like, yeah, he used to literally be, I think, out of our Arizona office back in the day.
When I'm going hard on the legal stuff, I just
Phoenix maybe.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's great, by the way. We interviewed him on this
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
He's a phenomenal
Cool guy.
human being. The girl that got deported for being anti-Semitic. Now that is like they just made that illegal.
The one out of Somerville, right?
I guess it's out of Somerville.
They
passed a law like a month ago or something.
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
crazy.
That's not what they used.
What did they do?
They cited their authority under the INA to deport anyone they deemed a national security threat. That's it.
It's I think the statute that they're using, Marco Rubio is using one where any alien that allows them that makes foreign policy more difficult for them we went
over this bill because what happened was I got it wrong. I thought it was I can't remember the section numbers, 273 or something, that states that they can at any time revoke a visa, and then we actually fact checked it, and it was like 3 something of the INA that states.
I think it's a foreign policy one.
It was
under 237A of INA.
It's something like that. Yeah. The specific provision is if they pose a threat to U.S. national security.
And that's like if someone's like, I don't like the way Saudi Arabia is cutting people's hands off. They're like, well, we need Saudi Arabia to defend the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. So you're a national security threat by saying that out loud.
Now in that example, right, I would agree with you because they're going.
So that's not a good thing for American free speech.
Why?
Because you have the right to criticize Israel and Saudi Arabia and any of these.
Foreigners do?
Even if you're at war. I mean, technically, you're supposed to still be allowed to at war.
Yeah, there's case law that protects foreigners.
I am not ever going to be okay with allowing foreign people to come to our country to dictate by protest what we do. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.